I got to review everything and really impressed with everybody. There's a lot of good things, but I think we had some really good opportunities to see our guys, how physical we are and how well we can tackle, how we block. And then it was good to see some of the running backs, be able to break some tackles and to see the DBs make tackles. So overall, I thought we got everything we needed. Obviously, I had some guys get banged up, but nobody out for the year. So we'll just keep working with it.
All right, Jay, go ahead.
Hey, Kalani, did any particular side kind of win the day, or was it pretty even as far as offense versus defense?
I think there were some good things on both sides. I thought normally defense is usually further ahead at this point, but I saw some really good things on the offensive side too. Special teams looked really good, and so we just got to keep working on the little details and get some more opportunities to have some live work. But I thought overall there's some good things on both sides and some things that we definitely can work on in all three phases.
Did one particular quarterback stand out?
You know what? I wasn't really paying attention to who the one was. I just saw some things that were. I don't. If I'm looking at it now, I probably can't answer that until I watch the film. I know you're looking for more. We just barely got off the field, so I know that we had some turnovers and things that happened today, and so some interceptions. But I think most of that was the defense making plays, and overall there was some good and bad on both sides. But I thought it was a pretty good day, just a great day of work.
Other questions for Coach?
That's it.
Norma, go ahead. Norma's not going up there. Okay, go ahead, Norma.
Yeah, I just wanted to, make sure Kalani didn't get off too easy. I feel like I missed the first couple of minutes, so I'm not sure if you already answered it, but seeing the first scrimmage, I assume, right, of fall camp, would you say there's been any drop-off in team performance compared to where you guys left off last year, or is it just the usual drop-off, or is it a little bit more?
Well, I think there's always going to be drop-off, especially when you lose a NFL caliber type of quarterback that's in his, has tons of experience under his belt. So, but it's not like you're just dropping off two guys that have never been on the field. So we have guys that in Baylor and Jaron that have played in games and have started in games, and so that's a little bit different than what you normally would see when there's no experience behind the QB. And then Jacob's just he's different in the way that he learns. He's an accelerated rate in the way that he learns and the way that he performs, and he's extremely confident. So that's why all three of those guys are in the mix. I have to go review the film, and I'm just telling you right now that off of just watching practice today, I can't tell you if there was much separation, but I think after watching it on film, we'll be able to tell a little bit more.
Was there anyone that kind of surprised you today?
Surprises? No, I thought, we knew that we had some good backs. We needed to see how they're going to shape up after Lopini and Tyler, and it was good to see Hinckley Ropati get some reps, Miles Davis, Mason Fakahua, those guys get some opportunities to run the ball, and I thought they did some really good things. Protection-wise, I thought we were decent, and so I'm just looking at things that I didn't see a lot of administrative mistakes, which was really good. That meaning the pre-snaps, false starts, things like that. I thought it was pretty clean for the most part, and I thought that, we had some substitution issues with what we're doing on both sides, but none of it was anything that was too alarming. I thought for the most part really clean. Give a lot of credit to our coordinators and the coaches for communicating well and being a little bit more game ready than you usually see more mistakes than that. But I think that they've been able to learn and make a lot of corrections along the way in the first practices leading up to the scrimmage.
Okay, Sean and then Jay.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned earlier in camp that the quarterbacks obviously aren't going to go live, and so I'm just kind of wondering exactly how, when you talk about playing physical and how physical you guys were in the scrimmage, how physical were you, I guess, how live were you, and do you plan to kind of ramp it up, or did you guys just sort of jump in this week with the first scrimmage?
Yeah, we just went live. I mean, there's only one way to do live, and that's just go all at it. But the quarterbacks, you don't need to hit them. So we don't run a triple option scheme, or not yet. So we'll see if we have one ready for Arizona. But but that's our system doesn't require the quarterback to carry the ball much and to do stuff like what the Navy and Air Force then do. So I think we were able to see if there are sacks, and maybe we'll have to watch the film. It's hard to do it in real time, but I think I've given kind of Ed that job of making the decision if it was a sack or not. But I saw some good things from defense, saw some really good things from offense, and away we go. It's just really good opportunities for us to learn and get better. That's what I want to learn from this. But for the scrimmage, though, I thought administratively the mistakes that you normally show up didn't show up as they have in the past, meaning the false starts and that much miscommunications. So it was a good, clean practice and scrimmage, and saw a lot of good tackling and a lot of opportunities to be physical. That's the film will dictate a little bit more when we can watch a little bit, rewind and watch every position and everybody on the field how they performed.
Kalani, how close are you to a depth chart, pretty much a 2 deep chart, or are there still position battles kind of going on?
Yeah, I think we kind of know where our depth chart is sitting right now. Probably there's some positions that we know for sure where how it's going to look, and then there's others that it'll take a little bit more. But it's right now. I know you guys may not like it, but there's a lot of ors still right now, which is a good sign. What we're trying to do is just solidify who's going to be the definite starter and who's going to be a definite backup. And then if we're still unsure, that means that they're both really good, and maybe we have to change personnel groups or change some stuff scheme-wise to get the best 11 on the field. So, yeah, I think that's starting to form, Jay. I see it happening a lot quicker than other times. Just the one is the one that you guys all are interested in, and that's the quarterback. But everything else is starting to shape up pretty quick.
Okay, Jacob, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, kind of shifting gears, this week was the start of the NFL preseason. Have you had any contact with some of you guys who have made their NFL debuts this week?
Yeah, myself and our coaches, we keep in touch with a lot of those guys, and so I think with texting, that's the way to do it. But a few of those guys will call and we'll talk and try to stay in contact with them. But I know they're really busy, so anytime we can send some words of encouragement, we do that. And looking forward to seeing. I don't know what's on TV and what we can record, but I'm gonna try to watch as many of those guys play and perform today. I'm looking forward to it. I think the game's already started. There's a bunch of games that have already started, so probably just have to hopefully we can get it on film. I like watching our guys, and so we'll see if we can get to it. Good question.
Okay, that's all we're gonna have.
I saw Criddle raise his hand though. I'll take it for Criddle.
Okay.
Criddle was one of my players that when my first year of coaching I got to coach him. So I gotta be nice to him.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I'm actually really intrigued. I think there's been an argument in the offseason that the best position group is actually the specialists this year, even though there's a lot of talent everywhere else. The only question mark was surrounding the long snapper, and I've seen long snappers win games and lose games, and so is the delineation still there for the Austin Riggs Britton Hogan battle?
Yes, from my point of view, yes. Ed will be making that decision, but we have two really good snappers, and they can do both the long and the short snap, and really like those guys. So, for what it's worth, we like having two guys that can do it. And you said that you've seen that position win and lose games. The fortunate part is no one's really heard about that position, and that's a good sign. So hopefully we keep it that way, and get those guys keep it. There's a lot. Those guys have played a lot of games, and so I'll let Ed answer that question for you, Ben. But yeah, I really like having them on the team. It gives us a huge sense of security knowing that we can have a couple guys that can do both those style of snaps.
Thanks, Kalani.
All right, guys.
All right. Okay, you're good to go. Thanks.
I just realized now I kept my sunglasses on the entire time. That's like that's a big pops move for
Right in here.
Yeah, it's bright in this room. All right, guys, stay safe. Thank you.